Pioneer Men's JV Basketball is live and on the air. We are underway. Sai has it here in the JV contest over to Saito on the far side. Saito dribbles to center over on the top of the key. Over on the far side, that moved back over. Saito gets it over to Lee. Lee over into the near corner. Sai working down the baseline. Sai dishes it all the way back out. That grab coming back with it in along the far sidelines. And into the paint, dished off to Lee. That moved over, grabbed and fired right back by, that moved over by Bailey. Here comes Saito. Saito puts it up for three. And in Saito as his first points of the game. And it is Pioneer 3 and Monroe nothing. Saito picks up the foul.
Ball goes to Monroe.
As that's pulled down, coming the other direction is Overstreet. Overstreet puts it and underneath, working his way in. Bounce pass by Cheatham. Now pulled down. Here comes Pioneer the other direction as Sai has it on the near wing. Sai gets it over to Saito. Saito works his way around. And into Lee. Lee grabs it, fires it up. That rattles around, would not go. Pulled down as that pulled back. And picked up. Monroe sent the other direction. As the ball out of bounds. 3-0. Pioneer has the lead. Jordan Ellington with the ball, brings it ahead. Jordan Ellington, top of the key. Jordan Ellington over to Saito on the far wing. Saito trying to dish it off underneath. Lee has it. Lee up and in. Lee with his first points of the game. And makes it 5-0. Pioneer with the lead. Inbounded. Cheatham gets it ahead. That grab by Harmon. Harmon for Monroe. Loses an edge. That loses the ball. That goes out. That's going to stay. Harmon's ball. As that's a long three off the back of the rim by Brooks, pulled down. Here comes Lee over Jordan Ellington on the far wing. Jordan Ellington takes it into the paint, up and in. Jordan Ellington with his first points of the game. 5:50 left to go here in the first. 7-0. Pioneer with the lead. Bringing it ahead is Harmon. Harmon picks up the dribble. Harmon dishes it off back over to Brooks. Brooks dribbles to his left. Saito watching him. Brooks to the far elbow. Brooks. That is going to be a whistle and a foul. Saito picks up his second foul. Richardson inbounds over. Now Overstreet has it into the paint. Overstreet dishes it off over onto the far side for Robinson. Robinson. And put up off the back of the rim. Pulled down by Jordan Ellington. Jordan Ellington coming the other direction. Jordan Ellington into the paint. That's going to be a travel. Monroe calls a timeout. Just getting a couple fixes to our rosters here. As 5:18 left to go here in the first. 7-0. Pioneer with the lead. You have 2 fouls on Pioneer, none on Monroe. Both fouls on Saito. Saito has 3 for Pioneer, 2 for Lee, 2 for Jordan Ellington. As Pioneer won the freshman contest before this, we'll have the varsity contest afterwards. We did just look up, and when it comes to the varsity contest, we'll talk about. I was able to find the playoff dates as Pioneer men's basketball will be playing at Huron. Grab by Overstreet, now moved ahead. Full court pressure by Pioneer. Robinson has it at the top of the key, trying to dish it off underneath, looking to get it over to Cheatham. Now pulling it back. Here comes Lee. Lee moves it over to Jordan Ellington for Pioneer. Jordan Ellington down on the far sideline. Jordan Ellington, top of the key, over to Side. Side dribbles to his left. Side in there working against Harmon. Side gets it over to Richardson. Now back into the paint. Here comes Lee. Lee puts it up with the right hand, rolls around and in. Lee with the basket and one. He has 4 points. Pioneer with 9.
Foul is on Monroe, number 35.
Cheatham picks up the foul. Lee to the line, trying to make it a 3-point possession. Puts it up, puts it in, nothing but net. Lee with 5 points, and it's 10-0. Pioneer with the lead. Inbounded, bringing ahead is Brooks. Now pulling it down. Moved over by Robinson, coming back the other direction. Jordan Ellington puts up with the left hand, off the glass and in. Jordan Ellington has 4 points, and it's 12-0. Pioneer with the lead. Now bringing it ahead. Brooks moves it back over to Harmon. Harmon, pressure in the backcourt. Harmon, double team, moves it over to Overstreet. Overstreet moves it up, and there is a whistle. Backcourt violation. That is going to be Pioneer's ball, as Jordan Ellington will inbound right in front of us, gets it over to Side. Side back to Jordan Ellington. Jordan Ellington on the near wing. Jordan Ellington picks up the dribble, gets it back over to Richardson. Richardson comes in, puts it up, and out of bounds. Well, there is a Richardson on Pioneer's team, a Robinson on Monroe. Do my best to enunciate properly so you can tell the difference. Jordan Ellington trying to put it in. That knocked away as Cheatham gets it back. Now working his way ahead is Brooks. Brooks back over. Over trying to bring it ahead was Aaron. Whistle blown. Jordan Ellington picks up the foul. Inbounded to Aaron. Aaron moves it over to Brooks. Brooks down the near side of the paint, puts it up, puts it in. Brooks with his first points of the game. And it's 12-2. Pioneer with the lead. Jordan Ellington for Pioneer down the far sideline on the far wing. Jordan Ellington spins with it, gets a screen from Lee, puts it up, that off the side of the glass. Lee with the rebound. Lee dishes it back out. Richardson puts it up and puts it in for 3. Richardson with his first points of the game. He has 3. It's 15-2. Pioneer with the lead, as that brought in by Cheatham, and that will be stolen away, but a whistle. Jordan Ellington picks up his second foul. That is the 4th foul on Pioneer. One more, and that will put Monroe to the line shooting baskets. Jordan Ellington gets a breather. Blackwell in for Pioneer. And bringing it ahead, Aaron moves it over to Brooks. Brooks gets over midcourt. Brooks on the near wing. Brooks dishes it off underneath, that up and in by Cheatham. Cheatham with his first points of the game. He has 2, and it's 15-4. Pioneer with the lead. Side brings it ahead for Pioneer. Side gets over half court. Being watched by Brooks. Side moves it over to Richardson. Richardson on the far wing. Richardson over to Blackwell. Blackwell into the near corner for Side. Down the baseline. Side puts it up off the rim. Side gets his own rebound. That knocked away by Cheatham, coming the other direction. Here comes Brooks. Brooks dishes it off over to Aaron. Aaron on the far wing. Aaron trying to make his way into the paint. Moves it over to Overstreet. Overstreet for a three-pointer. That just misses the mark. Put up by Cheatham. A block by Lee, but a whistle underneath. 2:45 left to go here in the first. Bailey picks up his foul. That will put Monroe to the line, shooting 2 for the rest of the quarter. First shot is up off the back of the rim. Would not go for Cheatham. One more coming for him. Trying to get it down to a 10-point game. Cheatham dribbles, bends the knees, puts it up, and puts it in. Cheatham now has 3 points, and it's Pioneer 15 and Monroe 5. Richardson has in the backcourt, over to Cy. Cy brings it over midcourt for Pioneer. Cy into the paint, dishes it off underneath for Lee. Lee up with the left hand. Couldn't get it, but but there was a whistle underneath. So I believe the contact caused him not quite to be able to put it all the way up. Cheatham picks up his second foul. That puts Lee to the line shooting 2. Lee, first one off the back of the rim, off the side, falls off to the far side. One more coming for Lee. I believe that's going to be Harvell in as number 10. I don't see that on my roster, but the JV roster, that's Harvell. So we will make some assumptions. Forgive me if I'm wrong. Brooks over half court for Monroe. Bounce pass over to Overstreet. Overstreet trying to get it underneath over to Cheatham. Cheatham going up. Couldn't make the basket, but a foul underneath. I'll put Cheatham to the line. Laberdeau picks up the foul. Cheatham bends the knees, puts it up, rattles around, would not go, hit the front, the back of the rim, fell off to the far side. One more coming for Cheatham. Cheatham bends the knees, eyes the rim, puts it up, and puts it in. Cheatham has 4 points, and it's 15-6, 9-point lead for Pioneer. Quickly ahead, Lee has it for Pioneer on the near wing. Lee into the paint, puts it up with the left hand. A little short, pulled down by Cheatham. Coming ahead with it the other direction is Aaron. Aaron over half court for Monroe. Aaron moves it over to Brooks. Brooks dribbles to his left, down into the near elbow, trying to get it over to Cheatham, and a little miscommunication that goes out of bounds. That will be Pioneer's ball. They'll inbound baseline right. Laberdeau to inbound. Baseline right, gets it over to Cy. Cy brings it ahead. 15-6, Pioneer with the lead. 2 minutes left to go here in the first quarter. Moves over on the far side to Richardson. Richardson on that far sideline into the far corner for Cy. Cy puts up a long 2 that rims out as it hit both sides of the rim. Looked like it was going down, popped out of bounds. That is going to be Monroe's ball. Rippey in for Monroe. Rippey inbounds it. Now bringing it ahead is Aaron. Aaron is picked up by Cy. Gets it moving over to Overstreet on the far sideline. That picked up, grabbed, coming in Harvell into the near corner. Traveling call. That will be Pioneer's ball with 1:35 left to go here in the first. 15-6, Pioneer with the lead. Laberdeau gets it into Cy. Cy brings it ahead for Pioneer over half court. Cy has Overstreet picking him up there. Cy coming down the near side of the paint, puts it up with the left hand and in. Cy with his first points of the game. He has 2. It's 17-6. Pioneer back up by 11. Aaron has it in the backcourt. Aaron moves over on the near side, trying to get it over to Harvell. That's stolen away by Blackwell. Here comes Cy for Pioneer over half court. Cy gets into the paint, puts it up with the left hand and off the front of the rim, pulled down by Cheatham. Cheatham moves it ahead, now racing. Here comes Aaron for Monroe over half court. Aaron double teamed that brought ahead as that's put up and in by Laberdeau. So Laberdeau has 2 points as coming down the far side. That moved over by Harmon, now brought the other direction. Pioneers stealing it away. Blackwell gets ahead to Richardson into the far corner, bringing it down. The baseline moved over to Blackwell. Laberdeau got it over to Blackwell. That off the back of the rim, trying to pull it down. Battle for it underneath, and that is going to be... Looked like it was going to be a jump ball, but now it's going to be a timeout as everybody talks things over. 19-6, Pioneer with the lead here with 27.0 seconds left to go here in the first. As taking a look at your scores so far, 5 points for Lee, 4 points for Jordan Ellington, 3 points for Richardson, 3 points for Sido, 2 for Cy, and 2 for Laberdeau. On the other side, it's 4 points for Cheatham and 2 points for Brooks. Pioneer in their home whites with the purple numbers on the front and back. Pioneer and block lettering across the front, purple piping down the side of the shorts and on the back of most of the shorts. We'll have the varsity contest coming up right after this game. As that inbounded, Lee has it, top of the key. Lee calls out signals, gets it over to Cy. Cy on the near wing. Cy comes top of the key. Cy steps back right around the block A. Cy dribbles to his left. Now comes back over to Richardson on the far sideline. Back to Cy. Cy right in front of the Monroe bench. Dribbles back. Cy moves it over. Labordeaux puts it up. That knockdown. 5 seconds left to go. Monroe with the ball at the backboard. Racing ahead with it is Harmon. Harmon puts it up, and that falls just short. Hit the netting, but no good. So at the end of one, it is Pioneer 19 and Monroe 6. Let's play a quick message from the MHSAA.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
As we're here at the end of the first half. By the way, we do know the Pioneer varsity team will be playing on the 28th at Huron for the first round of the playoffs. They will be playing the winner of Jackson versus Skyline. That is Jackson versus Skyline. Just writing this all down so I can remember. That's going to be a 7 p.m. game. Huron will be playing the winner of Dexter versus Jackson Northwestern at 5:30 that same day. Jackson Skyline is on the 26th, 2 days before that. So if you're interested in the playoffs, we'll do our best to have a audio broadcast. We'll have an audio broadcast of the men's ice hockey playoffs tomorrow. Pioneer versus Saline. Over on the near wing to Harmon. Harmon works his way around for Monroe, gets it over. As that moved over to Overstreet, put up underneath, rolls off the rim, put back up, knocked down and grabbed. Here comes Karsh. Karsh moves it over, racing ahead Saito. Saito over half court for Pioneer. Gets it over on the far wing to Rink. Rink back over to Karsh. Karsh over to Saito on the near wing, back over to Rink on the far wing. Rink comes to the far elbow. Now back to Saito on the near wing. Jones has it. Jones gets it back to Rink right at the top. Rink dribbles to the far elbow, dishes it off to Karsh. Now back to Jones on the far wing. Or excuse me, Saito on the far wing. Work his way around. That tipped out of bounds. That will stay. Pioneer ball. Saito to inbound on the far sideline right in front of the Monroe bench. As that looking to bring it in. Gets it over to Jones. Jones back to Saito on the far sideline. Saito just in front of the scorer's bench. Yeah, Saito gets a screen from Conley, top of the key. Saito dribbles to his left, down the far side of the paint, dishes off into the near corner. Rink for three. That rims out, pulled down by Harmon, coming the other direction. Here comes Monroe over half court. As that is Brooks knocked away, or Overstreet knocked away, coming the other direction. Rink puts it up with a finger roll, wouldn't go off the glass, but a whistle and a foul. Overstreet with the foul. Rink to the line. Dribbles the ball, bends the knees, puts it up. That rattles around and in. Rink with his first point of the game. That makes it an even 20 for Pioneer. Rink has a chance to make it 21. Try and get back to a 15-point lead. That second one off the back of the rim. Pulled down and coming the other direction. Robinson pulls it down. Gets it over to Overstreet. Overstreet back to Harmon. Now Overstreet dishes it off underneath. That knocked away by Karsh, trying to keep it in bounds. That knocked out of bounds. That will be Monroe's ball. Robinson has it. Baseline right. Karsh watching the inbound. 6:32 left to go. That gotten all the way back out. Flipped over by Rippey into the far corner. Overstreet for three. That off the rim. Knocked down. Picked up into the near corner. as Robinson got it underneath. That pulled away by Karsh. Here comes Saito. Saito racing ahead for Pioneer over midcourt. Saito down into the paint, dishes off into the near corner. Rink for three, and Rink hits it. Rink with 4 points, and it's 23-6. Pioneer with a 17-point lead. Moved over on the near wing as Monroe brings it up. Harmon dishes off to Rippey. Rippey into the paint, puts it up and in. Rippey with his first points, and it's 23-8. Pioneer with a 15-point lead. Saito brings ahead for Pioneer over half court. Saito into the near corner for Rink. Rink works his way around the arc. Rink picks up his dribble, gets it back over to Jones. Jones just off the top of the key. Jones dribbles to his right, hands it off to Rink. Rink. He works his way around the arc, now comes down to the paint, moves it, kicks it back over to Jones on the near wing. Jones now hands it off to Rink. Rink over to Saito. Saito on the near wing. Saito dribbles to his right, comes to the free throw line, puts it up. That rims off to the near side and pulled down. Here comes Monroe. Overstreet bringing it ahead. Bounce pass over on the far sideline, trying to get it underneath. Overstreet gets it back, up and in. Overstreet with his first points of the game, and it's 23-10. Well, quickly the other direction. Pioneer. Karsh trying to keep it in bounds. That went out of bounds. 23-10, 13-point lead for Pioneer with 5 minutes left to go here in the third. Conley out for a breather. Blackwell, Karsh, Rink, Saito in there for Pioneer, as well as trying to see Jones. Saito has it just off top of the key now. Saito works his way over just inside of half court. 4:45 left to go. Pioneer up 23-10. Working. Brooks comes out to watch Saito. Saito dribbles to his left. Saito works his way onto the far wing. Saito gets it over to Rink. Rink gets it over to Blackwell on the far elbow. Blackwell dishes it off. Now trying to get it underneath. Karsh back over to Blackwell. Blackwell puts it up. That just off to the far side. Missed the rim, but a whistle underneath. Blackwell to the line. Robinson picks up his first foul. 2 fouls on Monroe this quarter, none on Pioneer thus far. Blackwell puts up the first shot. That rims out, hit the back of the rim and rimmed all the way out. It came out the front. Blackwell with another opportunity. Blackwell eyes the rim, puts it up, puts it in. Blackwell with his first point of the game. It's 24-10. Pioneer with the lead. Bringing ahead is Harmon. Harmon moves it over. Monroe has it. Brooks coming down the far side, but a whistle. Jones picks up his first foul. First foul on Pioneer this quarter. Monroe with the ball. Robertson gets it underneath. That put up and in by Cheatham. Cheatham has 6 points. He leads all Monroe scores. Quickly ahead. Rink has it in the near corner. 24-12 is the score. As that from the paint put up, off the glass, knocked right back over, and that is going to be Monroe ball. They were able to knock it off of a Pioneer player. 3:57 left to go here in the second. 12-point lead by Pioneer, 24-12. As Brooks to inbound. Jordan Ellington gives Saito a breather. As Brooks looking to inbound, full court pressure by Pioneer. Brooks gets it back from Monroe. Ahead to Overstreet, and a foul as Jones picks up his second foul on a reach-in. That is 2 fouls on Pioneer, 2 fouls on Monroe this quarter. Bailey comes in for Pioneer, gives Jones a breather. Brooks to inbound, gets it over to Aaron. Aaron over half court for Monroe. Now working his way, Robinson underneath over to Cheatham. Cheatham dishes it off to Overstreet into the near corner. That put up by Robinson, and Robinson for 3. Robinson with his first points of the game, and it's 24-15. Pioneer with the lead and the ball. Jordan Ellington on the far wing to the far elbow underneath the Rink. Rink dishes it off to Bailey in the near corner. Bailey, top of the key for Karsh. Karsh off the back of the rim, pulled down by Blackwell. Blackwell has his shot blocked and grabbed by Cheatham. Cheatham underneath. Blackwell trying to get the jump ball, and he is able to. 3:12 left to go here in the second. You're watching Pioneer JV men's basketball, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting. That ball all the way out to Bailey. Bailey, top of the key. Bailey dribbles to his left, gets it over to Karsh in the near corner. Karsh trying to work his way around, moves it over to Rink on the far wing. Rink hands it off to Jordan Ellington. Jordan Ellington over on the far sideline. Rink from the far sideline puts it up. That off the rim, fouls off the near side, pulled down by Karsh. Karsh trying to come down the baseline. That off of Cheatham's foot. That will be Pioneer ball. 2:50 left to go here in the second. 24-15. Pioneer with the 9-point lead. Jordan Ellington down, baseline left. Jordan Ellington gets it over to Blackwell. Blackwell over to Rink on the near sideline. Back to Jordan Ellington in the near corner. Rink just off top of the key to the near side. Rink works his way over to the far side. Moves that over to Bailey. Bailey coming down the far sideline. Bailey gets it back to Jordan Ellington. Jordan Ellington just inside of half court. Was trying to steal that away. Was Overstreet. Pulled down by Rink. Rink on the near wing. Rink back to Jordan Ellington. Overstreet. Tight coverage. Rink, Jordan Ellington on the far wing. Jordan Ellington dishes it off to Blackwell. Blackwell down the far side of the paint. Puts it up. Off the far side of the rim. Falls down. That rebound by Robinson. Here comes Monroe. Brooks over half court. Brooks gets it over to Aaron on the near wing. Aaron into the near corner. Robinson trying to dish it off to Cheatham. Back, that put up by Aaron, and Aaron with a three-pointer. With his first points of the game, he has 3, and it's 24-18, 6-point game. Pioneer with the ball. Jordan Ellington has it just inside of half court. Jordan Ellington down to the paint, puts it up, and that falls just short, but a whistle. 1:44 left to go here in the second. As Overstreet picks up his second foul. 2 on Pioneer, 3 on Monroe in this quarter. Ellington at the line, puts up the first shot. That one falls short. Just grazes the front of the rim. One more coming for Ellington. Harvell in for Monroe. As that pulled down. Now, jump ball as they get it into Harvell. Rippey back in for Monroe. So they inbound it over to Harvell. Now coming ahead with it is Brooks. Brooks over half court. Brooks comes to the near elbow into the paint. Dishes it off underneath that. Put up and in by Robinson. No, that's going to be on Bailey. Bailey picks up the foul. That's his second foul. Robinson puts up and in. So Robinson now has 6 points. It's a 4-point game, 25-24. Pioneer has as much as a 16-point lead. Jordan Ellington comes to the far wing. Jordan Ellington stops on the foul elbow, gets it over to Karsh. Karsh works his way around, gets it over to Rink. Rink on the far sideline. Rink gets a screen from Blackwell, puts it up and in. Rink with 6 points, and it's 25-23. No, that doesn't make sense. 27-21. There we go. As breaking it into the near corner. Robinson has it. Robinson dishes it back off. Over to Rippey. Rippey to Brooks. Brooks spinning to the far elbow. Loses it. Now dishes it off to Aaron. Aaron on the near wing. Gets to the free throw line. Aaron moves it back. Brooks for a 3 off the back of the rim. Pulled down by Harvell. Now over on the near wing. That put up for 3. Rims out by Rippey. Pulled down. Rebound by Brooks. Put up. still popcorning around. Now Rink pulls it down. Here comes Pioneer. They have the 6-point lead. Karsh has it on the far sideline. Back over to Jordan Ellington just inside of half court. 23 seconds left to go before halftime. Jordan Ellington on the near sideline. Jordan Ellington. This Pioneer playing for the last bucket. Jordan Ellington in no hurry. He's wiping off the bottom of his shoes. Now Blackwell comes over to provide a screen. Jordan Ellington down into the paint, puts it up. No basket, no basket. It knocked off the rim anyway. That will be a foul on Aaron. That is Aaron's first foul. 6.5 seconds left to go. Jordan Ellington to inbound. Baseline left. Gets it into Blackwell, who puts it up. Wouldn't go. Pulled down by Robinson. Quickly ahead to Aaron. Aaron puts up the half-court shot. That falls just short. And at the end of two, it is Pioneer 27 and Monroe 21. As you take a look for Pioneer, Rink has 6. Lee has 5, 4 for Jordan Ellington, 2 for Lebedeau, 1 for Blackwell, 3 for Richardson, 2 for Cy, and 3 for Saito. On the other side, it is Robinson with 6 and Cheatham with 6, 2 for Overstreet, 2 for Rippey, 2 for Brooks, and 3 for Aaron. As let's play a few messages from the MHSAA here at halftime. It is Pioneer 27 and Monroe 21.
Where can you find good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the health and safety page of the MHSAA website. Learn about multi-sport participation, heat and hydration, cardiovascular resources, as well as insurance benefits available for our students. It's all on the health and safety page of MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
The love of the game draws us to sports, as players, coaches, spectators, and officials. For officials, it's a way to stay in the game they once played, to feel the thrill of putting on the uniform, stepping out of the playing surface, hustling to make the call, and building the relationships which can only be built in sports. If you still have that love for the game, we always need new officials. Register now at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Sportsmanship has never been more important between the lines in athletics and outside those lines in our communities. To listen, to respect, to understand, to practice common decency, to have competition without contentiousness. Sportsmanlike qualities are essential components of life itself. Let's all work together to not only be good sports, but good people. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Nearly 2,000 of the state's top student athletes will be recognized for excelling academically and in school activities through the MHSAA's Scholar Athlete Award, underwritten by Farm Bureau Insurance. The applicants will be in the running for a total of 32 $1,000 college scholarships. Application materials are available exclusively online through the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Can you go anywhere and find an endeavor in society where we've come to accept and tolerate an adult, and even kids, treating another adult the way we allow spectators, coaches, and players to treat a high school game official? Can you? No one has the right to abuse game officials. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Here are 5 more good reasons for multi-sport participation. Multi-sport athletes are more coachable. They have higher athletic ceilings. They become better talent in the long run. They have higher sports IQs. Their sport skills transfer, and they are better teammates. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
as we are getting ready to go here. 35 seconds left before we head back in as far as the playoff game. So Pioneer will be playing at Ipsy Arbor Prep on the 22nd. That's a 7 p.m. game. Then on the 28th, they will be at Huron. It's a 7 p.m. game. They will be playing the winner of Jackson Skyline. That is on the 28th of February. So that's 7 p.m. Huron will be playing the winner of a game earlier than that. They'll be Huron will be playing at 5:30. So Huron gets the bye, as well as Pioneer the bye through to the 28th. We'll see if we can have, I just found those today, as I swear I looked earlier, but I didn't see it there, but that's okay. So we'll double check the women's as well and put that out there. As far as hockey goes, men's varsity hockey will be playing Saline tomorrow, 6 o'clock. In the playoffs. Saito has it on the far side. Pioneer up by 6, 27-21. Bailey moves it over to Jordan Ellington. Jordan Ellington on the far wing. Jordan Ellington over to Saito, top of the key. Saito bounce pass over to Bailey in the paint. Puts it up off glass. Off the front of the rim. Falls away, but a whistle. That is going to be Overstreet, who picks up his third foul. As Pioneer 27-21. Bailey has an opportunity to make it 29-21, get back to an 8-point lead. First one up off the back of the rim. Would not go. One more opportunity for Bailey. He's looking for his first points in the game. It's Bailey, Saito, Lee, Sai, and Jordan Ellington up there. That one, nothing but net for Bailey. His first point, and it's 28-21. 7-point lead for Pioneer. Inbounding over to Overstreet. Overstreet gets it. That over to Cheatham, now brought ahead. Lifted on the far wing. Robinson gets it back over to Brooks on the near wing. Brooks, watched by Saito. Brooks works his way just inside the paint. That dished off underneath the Cheatham. A whistle before the shot. 7:26 left to go here in the third.
Pioneer foul number 40, Amir Lee.
Lee picks up his first foul as that's pulled down by Lee. Lee trying to make his way over, gets it over to Jordan Ellington. Jordan Ellington moves it over, that off the side of the net, out of bounds. It's Pioneer ball. 7:14 left to go. Inbounded. Bailey has it. Bailey over to Saito. Saito in the near wing. Saito now dribbles top of the key. Saito dishes it off. Jordan Ellington. Jordan Ellington on the far one into the far corner. Sai puts it up. That off the rim. Pulled down by Robinson. Robinson gets it over to Brooks. Brooks coming ahead for Monroe. Brooks over half court. Brooks spins with it. Brooks down the far side of the paint. That knocked down by Lee. Lee quickly the other way for Pioneer. Trying to get to Saito. That just out of his reach. Out of bounds. Baseline right. Inbound for Monroe. As Brooks has it there. 28-21. 7-point lead for Pioneer. Both teams with the foul in this quarter. 6 minutes, 46 seconds left to go in the third. Brooks inbounds, baseline right, gets it over to Overstreet. Overstreet back to Brooks on the far sideline. That tipped. Bailey has it. Bailey gets it over to Saito. Saito just in front of his bench. Saito on the far wing. Saito down the baseline, puts it up with the right hand, off glass and in. Saito with 5 points, and it's 30-21. 9-point lead for Pioneer. Monroe has the ball as Cheatham moves it back over. Coming ahead with it, Overstreet over half court. Overstreet bounce pass underneath. Robinson puts it up and in. Robinson, as he has 8 points. Pioneer quickly ahead. Saito into the near corner for Sai. Sai trying to get through the paint, puts it up. That off the bottom of the rim, pulled down. Dish back out to Bailey. Bailey puts it up. That blocked by Cheatham. Cheatham has it for Monroe. 5:58 left to go here in the third. 30-27. 7-point lead for Pioneer. Monroe with the ball. Aaron brings it ahead. Aaron on the far wing, dishes it off to Robinson. Robinson underneath, gets it to Cheatham. Cheatham putting it up. That blocked by Lee, but they'll call that from behind, and Lee will pick up his second foul. That is 2 fouls on Pioneer, 1 on Monroe this period. Cheatham to the line to shoot 2. He can get down to a 5-point lead for Pioneer. Blackwell coming in. That hits the back of the rim, rims off to the far side. Saito gets a breather, as well as Bailey, Blackwell in, and Richardson. One more coming for Cheatham. Cheatham bends the knees, eyes the rim, puts it up. That off the back of the rim, pulled down by Overstreet for Monroe. Overstreet on the far wing. Overstreet trying to get back into the paint, and that's going to be a jump ball. Jordan Ellington getting his hands on it. Jump ball, possession arrow, points the Monroe way. So Monroe will inbound. Brooks to inbound, baseline left with 5:39 left to go in the third. Into the far corner, Overstreet for three. That off the rim, pulled down. Here comes Lee, the other direction for Pioneer. Lee into the paint, puts up the finger roll and in. Lee, 7 points. Blocking foul on Aaron. That is Aaron's second foul. Lee trying to make it a 3-point play. Now Rink comes in, gives Saito a breather. So you have Richardson, Lee, Rink, Jordan Ellington, and Blackwell in there for Pioneer. Lee bends the knees, puts it up off the back of the rim. That pulled down by Overstreet for Monroe. Overstreet has the ball, down by 9. Monroe over midcourt. Overstreet gets it over to Brooks. Brooks being watched by Rink. Brooks coming down the far side of the paint. Brooks double team there, puts it up high. Now Overstreet into the paint, puts it up off glass and in. Overstreet off balance. Beautiful shot. 4 points for Overstreet. 32-25. Pioneer with the lead and the ball. Jordan Ellington comes into the paint. Jordan Ellington dishes it off to Lee underneath. Lee, and that will be a travel. Monroe ball, 7-point lead for Pioneer, 32-25. Brooks inbounds. Now Overstreet brings it ahead for the Trojans. Overstreet comes over midcourt. Overstreet steps back. Now comes top of the key, works his way around the arc, moves it over to Aaron. Aaron for three. Off the back of the rim, that tip back, but Jordan Ellington with it for Pioneer. Jordan Ellington over to Rink and just lost the handle out of bounds. That will be Monroe ball. Pioneer with the 7-point lead, 4:39 left to go here in the third. Now Overstreet brings it ahead. Overstreet down the far sidelines, over midcourt for Monroe. Overstreet into the paint, dishes it off underneath. Cheatham puts it up and in. Cheatham has 6 points, and it's 32-27. Pioneer with the lead. Jordan Ellington for Pioneer to the free throw line, puts it up. That off the front, the back of the rim goes in. Jordan Ellington has 6 points, and it's 34-27. Pioneer with the 7-point lead. Monroe with the ball. Overstreet coming down the far sideline. Overstreet comes top of the key, moves it over to Aaron. Aaron trying to get it underneath. That went off a Rink's hand. Aaron gets it back. Now over to Robinson. Robinson gets it over to Brooks. Brooks, top of the key. Brooks works his way down the far side of the paint. That loss picked up by Jordan Ellington. Jordan Ellington for Pioneer. Over half court. Jordan Ellington into the paint. Finger roll off the right hand. Comes off to the near side. Robinson with the rebound for Monroe. Quickly ahead to Overstreet. Overstreet into the paint. Overstreet puts it up with the right hand. Blocked by Lee. That goes out of bounds. That will stay Monroe ball. 3:38 left to go here in the third. 7-point lead for Pioneer. 34-27. Ball off of Lee on the block, so that will be Monroe ball. Brooks to inbound, baseline left with 3:38 left to go here in the third. Brooks skies it all the way back out to Overstreet. Overstreet coming down the far side of the paint, puts it up. That off the rim, down to the near side. Lee with the rebound for Pioneer. Saito brings it ahead. Saito over midcourt, coming down the far sideline. Saito on the far wing. Saito steps back, calls out, signals. Saito. Now, right in front of Coach DeWolf, Saito moves it over to Richardson on the near wing. Richardson underneath the Lee. Lee dishes it off, top of the key, over to Karsh. Karsh steps back, moves it over to Saito on the far wing. Saito working against Robinson. Saito dribbles down into the paint, dishes it off. That's stolen away, coming the other direction. It's Harvell. Now gets it over to Aaron. Pioneer with the 34-27 lead. Monroe with the ball. Brooks gets it back to Aaron. Aaron into the near corner for Overstreet. Overstreet down the baseline, puts it up. That off the rim. Finger roll and went off the far side of the rim. Bounced off to the near side. Here comes Pioneer. Top of the key, dished off over to Rink in the far corner. Rink down the baseline. Rink stops, puts it up, and rattles it home. Rink with 8 points, and it's 36-27. Pioneer back to a 9-point lead. Monroe with the ball as Brooks has it in the backcourt over half court. Brooks on the near wing, being watched by Saito. Brooks gets it over to Aaron. Aaron steps back. Aaron moves it over on the near wing. Robinson with it. Robinson calling off signals. Back to Aaron in the near corner. Aaron down the baseline, over into the far corner. Overstreet for 3. That off the rim, pulled down, grabbed and put up by Harville. Rebound, pulled away. Here comes Pioneer. Richardson with the rebound. And tipped out of bounds, but that will be Pioneer's ball. 1:56 left to go here in the third. 36-27, Pioneer with the lead. Varsity contest will be next after this. Jordan Ellington over half court. Jordan Ellington on the near sideline. Jordan Ellington dribbles to the left, into the paint, dishes it off. Rink thought about it, into the far corner. Karsh with it. Karsh bounce past the Rink on the far sideline. Over to Jordan Ellington, now on the near wing. Over to Richardson. Richardson stops, trying to dish it off underneath. There's a whistle as he was looking to get the Lee. That is going to be a hold on Aaron. Aaron picks up his third foul. 2 fouls on Pioneer, 3 on Monroe. Pioneer with the ball in the 9-point lead. Lee with the three-pointer. That one just a little long, pulled down by Harmon, controlled by Harvell. Now coming ahead with it. Here comes Aaron for Monroe over half court. Aaron to the near wing. Aaron stops there, works his way around the arc. Aaron comes, top of the key. Aaron moves it over to, put back over to Robinson. Robinson underneath. That tip, but a whistle. As they'll roll all the way back. Karsh picks up his first foul. 3 fouls on Pioneer, 3 fouls on Monroe. As Monroe to inbound, baseline left. That grab by Aaron. Aaron on the near wing. Aaron works his way, hands it off to Robinson. Robinson cross-court pass onto the far wing as that's Rippey. Rippey into the far corner. Now Robinson with it. Robinson underneath Aaron. Aaron trying to put it up. That knocked away as Lee gets it over to Jordan Ellington. Jordan Ellington for Pioneer over half court. Jordan Ellington. Bounce pass underneath to Richardson. Richardson over to Lee. Lee puts it up. And that rolls around and in. Lee with 9 points, and it's 38-27. 11-point lead for Pioneer. Brought ahead by Rippey for Monroe. Whistle and a timeout called. Overstreet comes back in. Weird, okay. Maybe, I guess not a timeout, but blew the whistle for a substitution. Anyway, over half court is Overstreet. Overstreet comes top of the key. Overstreet into the paint. Dishes it off as that trying to save it was Harvell, but grabbing it was Pioneer. Here comes Jordan Ellington for Pioneer on the near wing. Gets it over. Richardson for a 3. That off the back of the rim. Lee tips it back out. Rink has it. Rink over to Jordan Ellington. Right on the blockades for Pioneer. 13 seconds left to go here in the third. 38-27. Pioneer with the lead. Jordan Ellington now racing down the paint, but that is going to be a foul on Overstreet. That is the 4th foul on Overstreet. So they will bring in, as going out is Rippey. Cheatham comes in. Overstreet still in there. I might not be right about the fouls. Karsh gets it over. Jordan Ellington dishes it off underneath to Richardson. Richardson puts up the jump shot. That tipped away. But that was the end of the third. At the end of the third, it is Pioneer 38 and 27 for Monroe. Pioneer in that third quarter able to put in 11 points. Monroe only able to put in 6. So it was down to a 6-point lead at the end of the half. Pioneers ballooned it back out to an 11-point lead. Let's play a quick message from the MHSA. You were watching Pioneer Men's Junior Varsity Basketball, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting.
Can you go anywhere and find an endeavor in society where we've come to accept and tolerate an adult, and even kids, treating another adult the way we allow spectators, coaches, and players to treat a high school game official? Can you? No one has the right to abuse game officials. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
As we are about to inbound, Jordan Ellington has it. As that is awesome. Eve just gave us some items for the playoffs, so really appreciate that. Karsh working his way down, that kick back off. Jordan Ellington into the paint, puts it up, off the glass, but Lee gets it, puts it up and in. Lee with 11 points, and it's 40-27. Pioneer with the 13-point lead. Monroe brings it ahead as Overstreet has it. Overstreet working against Jordan Ellington. Overstreet on the near wing, over to Robinson. Robinson trying to get it into Cheatham. That pull down. Jordan Ellington coming the other direction. 7:22 left to go. Jordan Ellington on the near wing. Trying to dish it off, getting his hand in the way is Harvell. As that is awesome. Looks like, by the way, Pioneer will be playing women's basketball on the 6th versus Huron. So we know the men's basketball playing on the 28th. Moving over, that grab. Jordan Ellington on the far sideline, back over to Rink on the far wing. Rink over on the near wing to Karsh. Karsh work his way around the arc. Back to Jordan Ellington just inside of half court. 7 minutes left to go. Over on the far wing, Rink has it. Pioneer up 40-27. Jordan Ellington comes top of the key. Bounce pass over to Rink. Rink tries to get it into Karsh. Now over to Lee on the near elbow. Lee double team. Lee dishes it back off, but a whistle. And out of bounds. That will be Monroe ball. 6:47 left to go here in the fourth. 40-27. Pioneer with the lead. Monroe with the ball. Harvell knocked away, but grabbed by Cheatham. Cheatham over to Overstreet. Now that brought ahead by Harmon. Harmon moves it back over to Overstreet. Overstreet back to Harmon on the near wing. That dished off and put up off glass. Three-pointer by Harmon. That brought ahead as Jordan Ellington has it just inside of midcourt. Harmon, a very Ann Arbor name. A gentleman named Tom used to play football here back in the day. Just inside of half court. Jordan Ellington dribbles through his legs. Comes over on the far side. Gets it over to Rink. 6:03 left to go. Pioneer by 10. As Karsh dribbling on the near wing. Gets it back over to Jordan Ellington. Jordan Ellington has Harmon coming out to guard him. Jordan Ellington now comes just over top of the key. Bounce pass over to Richardson. Richardson has Overstreet watching him. Richardson dishes it off to Lee. Lee going up off the glass. Little too strong, but contact underneath. That is going to be on Overstreet. I have that as his 5th foul. The people on the... So he is simply subbed out. I think that was 5. As Overstreet goes to the locker room. So that was indeed 5 fouls. They stubbed them out. That's about as quick and easy a substitution of someone who's fouled out I've ever seen. Lee bends the knees, puts it up, puts it in. Lee leads all scorers with 12 points. One more coming, trying to make it 13-41 for Pioneer, trying to get to 42. Lee puts it up, puts it in, nothing but net. Lee has 13, and it's 42-30. 12-point lead for Pioneer. Monroe with the ball. Harvell has it. Coming down the far side, moves it over to Cheatham. Cheatham down on the far side of the paint. Cheatham puts it up, that a little too strong. Pulled down by Saito. Saito has it in the backcourt. Saito brings it ahead for Pioneer all the way over to Sai. Sai into the paint, dishes off into the far corner. Grabbed by Bailey. Bailey over to Jordan Ellington. Jordan Ellington on the far sideline. 5:23 left to go. Jordan Ellington into the far corner for Cy. Back to Jordan Ellington on the far sideline. Jordan Ellington working against Harmon. Jordan Ellington now bounces it over to Saito just inside of half court. Saito on the far sideline now. 5:07 left to go here in the fourth. Pioneer up by 12. Saito dishes it off to Lee in the paint. Lee looks back, gets it over to Jordan Ellington. Jordan Ellington dribbles to his right. That's a reach-in and a foul, as that is going to be Brooks, who picks up his first foul. 4:57 left to go. Jordan Ellington inbounds, that grabbed Lee, top of the key. Lee over to the far elbow, over to Cy on the far sideline. Cy back to Jordan Ellington. Jordan Ellington just in front of Coach DeWolf. Is Coach DeWolf calling out signals. Now Jordan Ellington moves it over to Saito, just inside of half court. Saito races down the far side of the paint, puts it up, that block, trying to pull it down. Lee gets it back on the far sideline. Lee for Pioneer moves it back over to Jordan Ellington, now to Bailey on the near side. Over to Saito in the near corner. Saito works his way around the arc. Saito splitting a pair of defenders into the paint. Dishes it back off to Cy on the near wing. Cy comes top of the key. Cy. Now that tipped, grabbing it. Cy moves it over. Intercepted by Brooks coming the other direction. Here comes Monroe. As Brooks has it, top of the key. Now over on the near sideline. Brooks moves it over on the far wing. Into the far corner. Trying to get it over to Cheatham. And that tipped away, but a whistle and a foul. Lee picks up the foul. That is Lee's third foul. One foul on Pioneer, two on Monroe. Ball inbounded. Robinson gets it over to Cheatham. Cheatham down the side of the paint, puts it up and in off the glass. Cheatham with 8 points, tied with the lead for all Monroe scores, as Monroe down by 10. As Jordan Ellington kind of run over from behind. Brooks picks up his second foul. 3 on Monroe. 3:49 left to go here in the fourth. 42-32. Inbounded to Saito in the backcourt for Pioneer. Saito over half court. Saito working against Robinson. Down the paint. Dishes it off into the near corner. That grab put up just a little long. Pulled down by Harvell coming the other direction. Here comes Brooks for Monroe. Brooks over half court. Brooks, top of the key, down the far side of the paint. Deuces off to Robinson. Travel. That will be Pioneer's ball with 3:30 left to go here in the fourth. Pioneer up by 10, 42-32. Jordan Ellington to inbound. Full court pressure by Monroe. Substitutions coming in as Cy comes in for Saito. Now Cy looking to inbound, gets it over, working his way. Bailey over to Cy. Cy over half court for Pioneer on the far sideline. Cy now over to Jordan Ellington on the near wing. Jordan Ellington underneath the Lee. Lee double team, works his way out, moves it over to Jordan Ellington. Jordan Ellington on the near sideline, now racing towards the paint. Jordan Ellington trying to put it up, contact made. Jordan Ellington down to the paint. Love the sportsmanship by Cheatham to help him up. As Cheatham picks up the foul, that is his third foul. Jordan Ellington to the line to shoot two. 3:10 left to go. First one is up, rattles around and good. As Jordan Ellington with 7 points, chance to make it 8 here, as it is an 11-point lead. Up and rattles around and in. Jordan Ellington now has 8 points, and it's Pioneer 44, Monroe 32. Monroe with the ball. Cheatham quickly had to Robinson. Robinson over to Harvell. Harvell grabs it on the near wing. Harvell, that tipped away, pulled down. As Harvell ended up down on the ground, that will be a whistle. That is going to be Bailey with his third foul. 3:01 left to go here in the fourth. 44-32. Pioneer up by 12. As Monroe to inbound. That grab, top of the key by Harvell. Stolen away. Here comes Rink the other direction. Rink in the paint. Puts it up with the right hand, off glass and in. Rink with 10 points, and it's Pioneer 46, Monroe 32. Monroe quickly into the paint. That bouncing around and in by Rippey. As Rippey quickly the other direction. He has 4 points, and it's 46-34. 2:43 left to go here in the fourth. Timeout called. We'll take it with him. How about a little push on? 2:43 left to go here in the fourth. Pioneer by 12, 46-34. As both squads talking it over, wanting to make the most out of this remaining 2 minutes and 3/4. We'll have the varsity contest coming up right after this. By the way, again, if you are going to see the basketball districts, you will want to get your tickets at gofan.com, set up by the MHSAA. Again, it will be used to purchase tickets at the door as well. Ahead to Cy. Cy bringing it for Pioneer over half court. Cy in on the near wing, over to Lee. Lee, double team Lee. Steps back on the near sideline. No, that's stolen over. Here comes Brooks the other direction. Brooks, top of the key. Brooks. Now all the way over to Rippey. Rippey in the far corner puts up the three-pointer. That off the rim, pulled down by Jordan Ellington. Jordan Ellington coming down the near sideline for Pioneer. Pioneer up by 12. Jordan Ellington. That dishes off underneath the Cy. Cy over to Lee. Lee puts it up. Lee in, but that is a traveling, and that will go over to Monroe with 2:13 left to go. Brooks in and roll the way over to Rippey. Rippey on the far wing trying to bounce pass over to Robinson, stolen away by Brooks. Jordan Ellington trying to get through a pair of double team. He ends up down on the court. He pops up quickly. He's all right. That is going to be a foul on Robinson. Robinson has his second foul. That is 5 fouls on Monroe. That puts Pioneer to the line. Jordan Ellington to the line. Trying to add to the lead. First is up and good. Nothing but net on that one. 9 points for Jordan Ellington. One more coming. Karsh comes back in. Cy gets a chance to sit down. It's Lee, Rink, Jordan Ellington, Bailey, and Karsh up there. And second one is up and nothing but net for Jordan Ellington. He has 10 points. 2:03 left to go. 28, and that put up and in. Stolen away by Bailey. Bailey now has 3 points. Racing ahead. Brooks has it for Monroe. Down into the paint. Puts it up off glass. That knocked down. Karsh has it. 50-34. Pioneer with the lead. Karsh in the backcourt. Moves it ahead to Rink down the far sideline. Back over to Jordan Ellington over half court. Jordan Ellington on the near sideline. All the way over to Rink on the far sideline, back to Jordan Ellington on the near sideline. Into the near corner for Karsh. Karsh steps back. Karsh bounce pass over to Jordan Ellington. Jordan Ellington double team back to Karsh. Karsh coming down the baseline. Bounce pass to Lee. Lee in the paint puts it up and in. Good assist by Karsh. Lee now has 15 points. That is 52-34. Pioneer with the lead. 18-point lead there. If I can do some quick math, and I don't guarantee it. 1:22 left to go here in the fourth. Varsity contest will follow. Monroe with the ball. 1:22 left to go. And out there, DeJesus, Jones, Jordan Ellington. Roberts out there as well. And Karsh coming ahead with it as Harvell moves it back over to Brooks. Brooks on the far wing. Brooks dishes it off underneath. Rippey up off the glass and in. Rippey has 6 points, and it's 52-36. Pioneer with the ball. 1 minute left to go. Jordan Ellington racing ahead. There's a whistle as Conley comes in, gives Karsh a breather. One minute, 2 seconds left to go. Trying to grab it into the near corner. Jordan Ellington with it. Jordan Ellington dribbles behind the back. 57 seconds left to go. Over to Jones on the far sideline. Jones into the far corner for Roberts. Roberts back to Jones. Jones right in front of Coach DeWolf. Jones back over to Roberts in the far corner. Long three-pointer by Roberts. Roberts has 3 points, and it's 55-36. Pioneer with the lead. Back over to Brooks. Monroe with the ball. They move it over. Coming down is Biendo. Back over to Brooks. Brooks dribbles to his left. Brooks comes top of the key. Brooks Now that over underneath, that put up, and just a little long by Cheatham, pulled down by Jones. Moving over, here comes Jordan Ellington. 14 seconds left to go, Jordan Ellington. In the front court, 10 seconds left to go, Jordan Ellington. Bounce pass underneath to DeJesus. DeJesus in the paint trying to put it up, as that will be a foul. Cheatham picks up the foul on the reach-in. Four fouls left, or 4 fouls on Cheatham. That is going to put DeJesus to the line, shooting 2 with 4.3 seconds left to go. One more coming for DeJesus. That one up and good. DeJesus with his first point of the game. 4 seconds left. Monroe has it quickly ahead, racing. That's a three-pointer put up and just misses, as that was Biondo with that shot. Final score is 56-36, 20-point lead by Pioneer. We will have the varsity squad up next, as Pioneer with the win, JV basketball over Monroe, 56-36. Varsity will be next. We are very lucky to be joined by Coach Ahrens. His wife Kim will be doing stats for us, and we want to thank my camera person for both games, Christina Wiseman. Thank you, and we will be right back with your varsity action.